Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. This podcast is about Horizon Zero Dawn, the PlayStation 4 exclusive that came out recently. A lot of people were asking me, how is the game? Should I pick the game up? So I thought I'd make a quick podcast about it. Again, I have not finished the game yet. I'm 46% complete with it. This game is a beautiful open world action game from Guerrilla Games, the people who made Killzone, and it's very different to me compared to other games because it's not like a shooter and it's not a button masher, so it's not like a Batman game when you're doing combos or anything. You actually have a bow and arrow, and the story, I haven't done a lot of the story missions. I mean, I've done a few, but basically the story is about Alo. Don't really like her name, but she's different and she's an outcast. In the beginning, she's raised by another outcast. Basically, she doesn't have like a mother or something like that, and everybody in the tribe thinks she's weird. And the outcast raises her and teaches her how to hunt and be agile. When she's a kid, she finds this thing called the focus, and it like hangs from her ear. It looks like a little item from her ear, and basically it's like detective mode in Batman. So it allows her to see more than what's there. That's you use the focus all the time. You basically can scan items with it. You can look at the environment. You can see through like rocks and everything to see the enemies, and you go on this journey to find out like who you are, where you come from. That's the gist of it. I haven't really got deep into the story. I did a few story missions, to progress, but I'm not close to finishing. But that's enough about the story. Moving on about the game. I think it's fun. I really enjoy it. It's some stealth involved, some strategy involved. Again, you have a bow. Not just, you have a spear as well, but you don't use it as much. It's not like you're gonna run in there and fight with your spear. You fight in machines. You fight humans. There are humans in the game. That's one of the weak parts of the game. If I had something to complain about, the humans are not very smart. You can easily take them down, headshot. They don't really like pay attention. They notice you if you shoot somebody. Like they get a yellow icon on their head. That means they're looking around from you. If it's red, then they see you. But they're not really smart. Like you could just sneak around and kill them or shoot them with a long range weapon. Continuing with the weak parts of the game, I would say the voice acting, and it's not all the voice acting. It's more so when you're just talking to somebody one-on-one and you have to answer a dialogue question or something. It's like the characters are just literally reading off the paper. Like in the cutscene, in the cinematic cutscene, it flows better. In the cinematic cutscene, everything flows better. And when it gets to like if you have to go greet somebody and you're having a conversation with them, it's so wooden. Like if they're supposed to express anger, you don't see it. Like you don't see the expression in the character's face. You don't really hear it. The tone changes a little bit, but it's very wooden and dry. And I expect them to get better at it. It's not like Uncharted, or The Last of Us, where it's like, they have the actors acting everything out and and going over all their lines, like a performance. But it just seems like they're in the booth just reading off the paper. And going forward, I'm pretty sure this would be a franchise because the game is great, and the second game will do better in the conversation aspect. The conversation doesn't really sway anything. Like you have three choices. I think it's like your brain. It's like a brain, and then it's like a fist, and then it's like a heart, and those are like the three choices. And that changes like how you answer stuff. but it doesn't really affect the story or anything. Moving on to my favorite part, it's basically fighting. You fight machines early on. You go through a tutorial. Again, your mentor and everything is teaching you how to hunt, so you got to learn how to be sneaky. You crouch. They have like high grass in the game. It's easily it's easy to identify that when you crouch in there, you become hidden, and then you can move around. And then there's just you meet all these different machines. In the beginning, you meet like they call watchers. Those are the little machines. They're like scouts in all the other games. They're small, easy to kill, annoying when there's a bunch of them. But like they walk around, and then they look around for you. If they see you, then they'll call other robots. You have the Strider. It's like a horse type. If they see you, they'll run at you and stuff like that. As you progress, you can learn how to override the machines, and that's basically you control them. So the watcher will just leave you alone, walk around. The Strider you can ride. There's another machine you can override, and you can ride that as well. Helps you get across the map. The map is big. It's a very big map. A lot of different environments. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. It's not just like beautiful grassy lands. You go and it's snow. There's a day-night cycle, and it starts raining and everything. So you see all these different environments, and you go around the map a lot. There is fast travel. The save sites are like campfires, and they're on the map. And once you get to one of the campfires, then you can fast travel to that. You can fast travel to it, after you get it. There's an item which you can buy, which allows you to fast travel, but then there's like a better item, and it does it for free. But there's just so many machines, and it's kind of scary when you fight the machines too. Like again, in the beginning, your tutorial, they take you outside of the gate, and you have to fight what's called a sawtooth, and it's like a bigger machine, and it's a little scary. Like you hear it walking around and everything, and you have to strategize on how to take it down. Now that's where your focus comes in, and you basically use your focus to scan the animals the machines, and they have weaknesses. So some might be weak against fire or freeze or shock. This thing is a thing called tear, which it knocks off components. So let's say there's a crocodile type animal, and he can shoot ice at you. If you knock off that component, then he can't use that move or anymore. So that's where the strategy comes in. You get different bows, so you don't just have one regular bow and one regular arrow. It doesn't work like that. There's like tripcaster, which allows you to plant like mines. You shoot two different arrows, and you basically plant a tripwire, and you start off with like shock. And then as you get different bows, you unlock more ammo for the bow. There's the rope caster, just how it sounds. You shoot ropes, and you use that to tie down animals. You can start off, you have it where you could tie down the little animals, like the watcher. It takes a couple of shots, you tie them down. That's when you can run up on them and then do a critical hit with your spear. As you upgrade, you can tie down bigger animals. Takes a few more ropes, but you can do that. They have the sling, which shoots like elemental damage. You have the sharp shot bow, which has like basically a sniper rifle type ammo. It's like a longer range. It takes a little longer to shoot the arrow, and it comes with like the tier arrows, which knocks off components. It's a lot of strategy that goes involved. Like each gear, like each weapon and like armor comes in, I think it's just 3. So it's like uncommon, rare, and very rare. So it's like green, blue, and like purple. And as you, with the weapons and with the armor is not really that detailed. You'll get armor that increases your stealth or resistance to fire or freeze or something like that. But it's not like an RPG where you have to upgrade your armor. The only thing you can really do with your armor and your weapons is add modifications. So you can add plus 10 freeze or plus 20 tier or plus 30 damage, stuff like that. You pick those up. When you destroy the machines, you can loot them, you pick up items, and all the resources that you pick up, you use to create ammo on the fly. So you don't have to go to like a merchant. Like you can just bring out your flame arrows, and then if you run out, you just go, you hold L1, get to your menu, and you can make more arrows right there. So it keeps the combat fast. It's rewarding when you fight a big like machine that you haven't fought before and you take it down, or you fight multiple machines and you take them down. It's very rewarding, and you get the experience, but it's like you feel like you accomplished something, because you will fight robots that's just way stronger than you and they'll kill you, so you have to come back. Like I just took down a Stormbird. It's a part of like my I think it's an errand I'm running, because they have like main quests, they have side quests, they have errands, and you can choose anything you want to do. You also get tutorials for every time you buy a new weapon. You can have a tutorial. It might say take down this machine using this weapon, and you get experience for that as well. There's also what they call tall neck quests, and tall necks are these big machines that basically walk around in circles, and you have to get on top of them to unlock the rest of the map. So it's like in any game where you have to hack something or get to a certain place to see the rest of the map, that's with the tall neck. So like Assassin's Creed, when you climb to a top of one of the buildings and you do the eagle dive, and then it unlocks the map so you can see different, quests and stuff on the map. That's the same thing with the tall necks. I think I did about 4 of them, and they're just walking around. They don't attack you. They're very tall, but like you have to find a way to get on top of them. So, the first one is the first one I ran across is very easy. There's nobody there. It's just grass. You climb up to a little tree and then you jump on. Easy to get on top of him. You override him, and then you get some of the map. But another one, I had to like cross the river and climb up some rocks to jump on top of him. Another one, I had to kill some bandits and then climb up some stuff. So it's pretty cool. The fighting is very different. It takes some time to get used to. Sometimes I just run across the land and look for things to fight. I'm learning to set up my tripwires depending on if the machine is weak against fire or shock. Again, when you buy different bows, like I upgraded my trip caster, so now I have a shock wire, a blast wire, and a fire wire. So it just takes some time to get used to, but it's very fun. Again, I'm level 33. I've been doing a lot of like side quests and errands and just running around, and just because on the map you can see where the animals are located, so you can go and fight an animal. If you think oh, I'm not used to fighting this thing, you can go to their different sites and they're just there moseying around in the grass, and once you start messing with them, they'll come at you in bunches. So I go around and I try to fight the different animals just so I get used to it, having strategies to fight all the different ones. And it's fun. The game is beautiful. There's a lot to do. There's collectibles. There's different data points to check. The collectibles, you get them and you can trade them with the merchants. There's plenty of merchants around. You buy your items from them. You buy your weapons. There, you have your potions and stuff like that, just like regular games. You loot a lot of stuff. The grass. You can I like the way they have the energy system, where you have your health, and you can pick up medicine, and then the medicine goes into your medicine pouch, so you can quickly use your medicine by pressing up on the D-pad. But you also can buy potions, and you can have that as well. It's not a very complex in terms of like RPG elements, and I think they will add that in the future game. But it does take a little while to get used to fighting with the bow and arrows. So I would recommend buying the game. Honestly, it's great. It's fun. Oh, and my last gripe with the game, I wish you could platform a little bit more. Like Aloy is very agile. There's some platforming things in it, and she be jumping across stuff, but then it'd be like a little rock, and you can't jump on top of the rock, or you can't climb up to the rock. You have to find a specific rock to climb up. Excuse me. So I wish you could just climb up different things. But it's a fun game. Check it out. Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm gonna post this probably Friday afternoon or Friday morning. And thank you for listening. Deuces.